Hey guys, AP Gaines here. I'm with Nikki Biggs. We just had a late night frosty run at Wendy's, and a lot of you guys reached out to me and said you felt lonely over the Valentine's Day weekend. And I just want to take this time to remind you guys that you guys are part of our family. So from our family to yours, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. And as always, I love you.
Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant on World Police Chief AP Gaines here. And a lot of people were asking me, surprisingly, over the weekend about how to unlock 7-star Chewbacca. I of course, pointed them to the guide that I will be referencing in today's video. But I realized that over the year, since it's 9 months, maybe a year that it's been since this video has been updated, lots of new people, thousands of new people have subscribed to the channel, so might not necessarily know about this guide. So I wanted to revisit this because there are some updates that could help you guys unlock this character a little bit quicker. So this is not the team that I used to unlock 7-star Chewbacca. It was actually Gear 11 Boss, Gear 12 Jango, Gear 11 Boba Fett. These guys were in fact Gear 9. But I will talk about the strategy really quickly after I skip through all of the boring stuff I talked about. So the most important thing you need to know right off the bat is you cannot have Bosk, you cannot have Jango, you cannot have Boba stunned right off the bat. I know the quality is not super good on your screen right now, but if any of those three players get stunned, just restart. It's not worth your time. What you want them to do ideally is to go after Dengar or to just kill off Cad Bane, because as you can see down the little player right here, my guys get it completely obliterated down to just Jango. Again, Boss gets stunned, and we get obliterated, despite these guys being overgeared. So let's skip back to here. Okay, so they killed Cad Bane right off the bat. Boba, Bosk, and Jango haven't been stunned. This was just circumstance for me, but I realized it was the best strategy for you guys. You want Bosk to be fastest, and then immediately followed by Boba, and then Jango. Bosk throws up his taunt right here. Now what you want to do is you want to go execute like I'm about to do over here. We'll get rid of all of the buffs and do a pretty decent amount of damage. Since that's an ability, it will trigger Bosk's, whatever it's called. I always call it Ferocity, but I think it's Fury, maybe. I'm not sure. Frenzy. It's Frenzy. Then he can call everyone into assist. He'll do massive damage. Of course, he's going to counterattack because they just get so much turn meter. But we have an attack here. So he still has the Frenzy up. Fury, Frenzy, Ferocity. He's got the F word up. We're going to throw in a middle ability over here. And by this time, it should call in Bosk for another attack. His basic will automatically crit because Chewbacca is the weakest opponent. And this will completely annihilate Chewbacca. Boom. The rest of the battle should be super easy. Han Solo does do a decent amount of damage, and R2-D2 is an absolute tank. So you could have trouble like I kind of did here. But that's where just Jango's overall just amazingness comes into play. He can carry most of these events. Especially, you see we're getting kind of destroyed here. We still don't even have Contract. Once you get Contract, this team boosts up a lot. And Jango, after Chewbacca's done, can basically solo this whole event with the help of Boba, of course. Lots of people have Boba upgraded past Jango. So we've explained the general strategy for a couple years now, right? It has changed a lot since Greef and Mando have been into the game. Now that Greef and Mando in the game, you get turn meter if you have the Zeta on Mando, you have an Annihilate on Mando, you have a Mass Assist, you have Retribution from Greef. If you take out Dengar and then either your Cad Bane, your Aurra Sing, your IG, your Greedo, or even your Zam Wessel, and throw in Greef and Mando, you're going to have so much more offensive output. So I'm going to switch over to my account, and my account is super overgeared, so don't worry about the fact that I'm going to completely annihilate the event. And I'll show how there are some slight differences, actually some pretty major differences with the new characters. So I'm going to switch over. Oh, you're going the wrong way. Oh. Ah! Alright, so as you guys can see, completely overgeared. The relic on Boba is just a meme that I got dared to do at one point. These guys are still the same, but the addition of just basically a weak Greef card gun and weak Commando is going to be fantastic. Mando does have the Zeta, so this is a completely overpowered team, but I am still going to explain the general synergy of this team and how this battle should go. So if you guys have weaker characters, more like gear 10, gear 11, you guys can figure out how you're going to go about completing this event fairly easily. You shouldn't have much trouble. But again, lots of people were asking me, and I decided to do a quick updated video because, you know, when you guys ask me to do something, I'm going to do it for you. So right off the bat, we'll see who he stuns. Okay, so they stun Mando, which is still acceptable. I'm not sure where the speed is. Let me get this out of your way real quick. So we have a volley. My Boba is actually faster, but a lot of times you're going to come into this situation where you can't go after Chewbacca right off the bat. Now, obviously, I could go through this and completely annihilate them, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually retreat, and we're going to go back in there because we don't want Chewbacca to be under stealth right away, because just like the C-3PO event, we have to go after Chewbacca mighty quickly. So Bossk is stunned, so this is not fortunate, but we already know our speed's off. Same situation right here. If Chewbacca can take another attack, he'll come out of stealth, but he won't. So we're going to have to redo this until we find a good run really quickly. All right, so as you can see, we've gone through an opening volley. They actually stunned Boba, and then he took a turn, so he has no turn meter. So oftentimes you're going to be faced with a situation, but this is where Greef and Mando can really turn this situation around. Right off the bat, unconventional, I know, but we just want to do a big hit. It's not going to do a ton of damage. We want to get that. Is it Frenzy? Frenzy. Here, now we can call Mass Assist. Obviously, we're doing massive damage. You're not going to do quite that much damage. But then, since Greef just uses an ability, and Greef is a pretty quick character, you can call another Mass Assist in, and this is the point at which your Gear 11, Gear 12 team, maybe even Gear 10, and Greef and Mando can be like Gear 8, is going to completely annihilate that Chewbacca. So that double Mass Assist is fan-freaking-tastic. So if you have your Greef and your Mando, you don't need to have that Bossk, Boba, then Jango turn meter situation going on. So if you're like me and you hate to mod, definitely a strategy you can go for. I'm going to call in Boba to assist because he's relic, so obviously he's going to destroy this event, but you should call in your Boba to assist, or whoever happens to be your highest geared character, they're going to start doing their shenanigans, but you should be pretty set at this point. You can get some massive debuffs. It's not going to do as much damage again, and then eventually you should start to get your contract. You're going to completely annihilate through them because you have all of the assists. Eventually he'll throw up some retribution. Assists over here, double tap here, mass assist plus taunt, mass AoE for regeneration, all that sort of good stuff. So you guys are going to be in a pretty good spot if you add these characters. The only problem is they are kind of annoying to farm since they are not accelerated rate characters, but they make this event so much easier and make the Mando team all that much better. 3 stars, easy. Obviously, I'm over prepared for this. It was just a simple demonstration of how their unique skill sets can change the way this battle is completed. Alright, I hope you guys had a great day. This is kind of a last second video because I got a swamp of comments on a previous guide video, actually on the Padme guide video, so I'm going to revisit that video in a later date. It hasn't changed much, but lots of people don't know it exists. So as always, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Oh, if you happen to stay to this point, comments. I want your favorite fruit put in a sentence. Any sentence of any length, but there has to be a fruit in it, and it has to be your favorite fruit. Mine's papaya. It's not actually papaya, but I'm going to tell you it's papaya. Have a great one, guys.